Hey everybody, it's Clay. I was out fishing yesterday evening and had a really great trip fishing around some birds. I want to give you some tips that made me successful that were kind of taught to me from a fishing guide and just from experience. One thing I noticed when I was scouting for fish was that there was a lot of birds that were generally excited about probably a quarter-mile area of the lake. It was a huge area, but they were flying around. Every once in a while they would dive at the water. But generally they were just flying around real low to the water and kind of scouting it out. So that got my attention, and what I did to kind of eliminate all that water was I used side scan and 2D sonar. I drove real slow, and here's a screenshot of what I was seeing on average. A couple hybrids here and there, a little school of shad, nothing too crazy, but at least I knew there were fish in the area. So I kept driving through that big area, and eventually I saw this screenshot. As you can tell, there's probably, I don't know how many hybrids are on there, but there's a big school of hybrids, a couple different schools of hybrids. So that just looked really great to me. So what I did was I spot locked and I started casting around, and that helped me put several hybrids in the boat. We caught our limit, a 2-man limit, just within probably 10-15 minutes. And then what we started seeing was the fish boiling on the top of the water to our left and to our right. They were just all around us. We were right in the middle of it all, thanks to Sonar putting me in the middle of that school. And whenever we'd see the boil, we would throw our bait immediately at the boil, and then we would immediately hook up and have a fish on. So if you ever see fish boiling the top, hitting the tops and splashing, eating shad, what you want to do is cast your bait right to that boil, the closest one you can get to, and just start reeling it real fast, and you'll catch a fish just about every cast. Something to note about the birds: whenever you see a bunch of birds just sitting on the water, that's really not leading you to fish typically. Whenever birds are flying around and actively diving at the water, either aggressively or intermittently diving at the water, that's a good sign that the fish you're looking for are over in that corner of the lake or over that hump, wherever they may be active. So I hope that helps you. I hope that puts more fish in the boat. Look for birds, especially birds that are actively diving at the water and excited about it. That tells you that there's fish there. And then use side scan and down imaging and our 2D sonar, either one of those. Usually side scan with 2D sonar for my preference, and I'll drive real slow until I find the school rather than just a few members. I'll actually find a big school and pinpoint them. I hope that helps put more fish in your boat.